Welcome to Davey's Take. Today is March. Oh, the arm is in front of the second digit. The 12th. It's March 12th, 2025. It's a Wednesday, and there's some big Cleveland sports news to talk about, so let's just get started. The biggest news of the week is with the Browns. Myles Garrett is staying in Cleveland. We have him till 2030. It's guaranteed like $120 million, $40 million a year. It's the highest contract ever for a player that's not a quarterback. So I guess all that stuff about, I want to go somewhere to win a Super Bowl didn't matter because at the end of the day, money talks. And I honestly understand it. I'm obviously so happy to have Myles Garrett back. He's one of the best Browns players ever. He's one of the best players in the league. So obviously you want to keep a player like that. But I will say, part of me was a little curious to see what we could have got for him, especially if we're in this rebuilding stage. We are in a rebuilding stage. We never want to get rid of a player that good as Myles Garrett, so I have to give the front office credit for figuring that out. And I have to give Jimmy Haslam some credit because he decided not to meet with Myles Garrett. And honestly, I can chalk that up to him looking in the mirror and be like, if I meet with Myles Garrett, I'll probably fuck this whole thing up. So I think that's some growth. In other Browns news, we traded for Kenny Pickett, which I thought was interesting because I think he's ass. But we do need a backup, and I think it'd be a fine backup. I'm just picturing the conversation the front office had with Myles after he signed the contract. Like, Myles' whole concern was we're nowhere close to winning a Super Bowl. We're going in the wrong direction. I just love to see Andrew Berry and Jimmy Haslam be like, don't you worry, Myles. We understand your concerns, but we just made a huge move. We have a quarterback, and his name is Kenny Pickett. So I can't imagine Myles is too jazzed about that, but I would probably have short-term memory if someone just gave me $120 million guaranteed. All signs look like we're still going to take a quarterback at 2 in the draft, and there are reports that Kirk Cousins might get cut by the Falcons by this weekend, and the best fit for him would be the Browns, and that's not coming from me. That's just people online. You know, people online are never wrong. But I would welcome Kirk Cousins to the bridge, whoever we're going to draft, whoever's going to be the quarterback moving forward. I've been saying on this channel, I don't want Kirk Cousins to be the guy for the next few years. I would want him to be a bridge for whoever we draft, and he is a much better option than fucking Kenny Pickett. So please make that happen. That's all the Browns news I have, and surprisingly, it's positive because it's never positive. So let's talk about that team that just keeps winning. Yes, the Cavs are on a roll, a 15-game winning streak. I don't want to boast, I don't want to brag, but ever since I started this segment of weekly Cleveland sports stuff, the Cavs have not lost. They are undefeated. First game since my last video was Cavs versus Bulls. We won. I was actually at that game, and that was the first game we've seen Javonte Green play in a Cavs jersey, and he looked pretty good. Darius was struggling at first, but then he hit 2 huge threes at the end of the half to put us back in the game because we were struggling the whole game. And then we ended up winning by over fucking 20 points. What? Next was a close game with Miami and Cleveland. We still won that game. I think the biggest story of that game that's not even really basketball is that's Kevin Love's first game back in Cleveland since he left. I did not know that at all. But as I sing him and hear Richard Jefferson talk about Kevin Love and the tribute we gave him, the 2016 team, all of that was great to see. We started falling apart a little bit in the fourth, but then we came back. Donovan played really well. Darius had 10 assists, and of course, DeAndre Hunter and Ty Jerome were making big shots off the bench. Cavs Hornets, I actually missed this game. I was at dinner, but when I looked at the box score, I was like, holy fucking shit, we beat the Hornets only by 1. But hey, it's hard to win this league, and we're on this streak, so everyone's going to give us their best shot. And there might be a little fatigue that sets in. The fact that we held on even though Miles Bridges had 46 points, I think is a good sign that we can win even those shitty games. Cavs beat the Bucks this week in Milwaukee. Probably the best win of the week because Milwaukee is actually a really good team. It was on the road. And this is a game where Darius and Donovan Mitchell were not shooting well, but the supporting cast stepped up and played amazing. The whole entire starting 5 had double-digit points. Max Strus, 5 threes, was hitting some big shots. And like I've been saying, it's just encouraging to see when the stars aren't playing well, the rest of the team can really pick up the slack and still win the games. And then last night, we played the Nets with no Donovan Mitchell, DeAndre Hunter, or Ty Jerome. Much needed rest. They deserve it. And we have such a big lead in the East that we can afford the rest of some players at this point. But we were getting our ass kicked most of the game, and we clawed back again. We always find a way to win. Darius Garland played great. He had 30 points. Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, both over 20. And it's just so encouraging to see this team beating the good teams, and even the games where we're not playing well against teams that might not have the best record, but we still find a way to come back and win, and that's just a sign of a very good team that can actually make a run. I'm not going to lie, our schedule coming up is pretty tough, but I have faith with this team. We've won 15 in a row. We're 55-10. We look incredible. We look like we're the best team in the league. Let's carry this momentum into these next games and into the playoffs and see what we can do. I'm so excited to see what the Cavs can do in March and April. And give some respect to Donovan Mitchell. I think he should be in the MVP conversation. We have the best record in the league. We might end up with the best record in the league, and Donovan Mitchell's been our best player. Give him some respect. Give him some MVP votes. Now let's talk about the Guardians, because spring training has been in full swing. They are finally winning some games. I see that Kyle Manzardo is batting like almost 400. That is promising to see. I'm a little concerned about Clase because I saw he gave up some runs. And there's a survey that came out that players took. And they asked which closer they would love to see in like a Game 7 situation. And almost everyone picked Clase, and I don't know if it was like a respect thing, like, oh, he's so good, I would love to go up against the best, or if it was like, no, I figured him out, I would shell his ass. Hopefully it's the first part. I really hope these playoffs didn't rattle Clase, or hope they wasn't figured out or something, because he was one of our best players last year, arguably our best player last year. And we just need him to come back if we want to make another run. Looks like Juan Brito is probably going to start at second. And our young guys have been playing well in spring training. But also, like, someone like Brian Rocchio has been looking good. And it's just nice to see that in spring training, at least, we're starting to play a little bit better. I know the young guys have been putting up pretty good numbers. And that's kind of the point of spring training, is to get into the swing of things. But I don't know. It's just always nice to see we're getting wins, even if it's spring training. I also read a report that we trust our young guys so much, specifically in the pitching category, that we might wait to bring Shane Bieber back just to make sure he's at 100%. And while I love to see Shane Bieber like opening day, that's just great to hear that we have that type of depth to be like, you know what, Shane, let's wait till you're perfect. But opening day's in 2 weeks, and I am so excited. I'm itching for some Guardians baseball, and I can't wait to see what we do this year. That's all I got with the Cleveland sports news. Biggest thing was the Browns, and surprisingly, like I said, it's good news. It's never fucking good news. Cavs are rolling. Guardians are winning some games in spring training. And for some major sports news, Conference Championship weekend is this weekend, and the tournament's around the corner. Tiger, unfortunately, tore his Achilles, which sucks. I love Tiger Woods, and I just want to see him play again. And there's a bunch of NFL free agency stuff, like Sam Darnold's on the Seahawks, Geno's on the Raiders, Daniel Jones is on the Colts, Justin Fields is on the Jets. Because a lot of those signings are interesting to me, because it seems like people are just sort of swapping places. But I guess we'll see. So let me know if there's anything I missed when it comes to Cleveland sports stuff or just sports stuff in general. I'd love to hear what you guys want me to talk about. And thank you so much for watching. Click here to see more of Davey Takes.